This combination of pistachio sponge, very fine white chocolate cream, and a fresh raspberry insert is sure to become one of your favorites. Hi, I'm Robert and today we're making a pistachio cake with white chocolate and raspberry. We start with the sponge layers, for which I put in the bowl of the stand mixer 95 grams of soft butter and 135 grams of sugar and cream them well together. Once the butter is whipped, I add one by one 5 eggs, which I separated in a bowl, and mix them well after each one. Make sure the eggs are at room temperature, because otherwise the butter will cool down and harden and won't whip properly. We'll add the dry ingredients, meaning 145 grams of flour, 110 grams of pistachios. I use two types, one with a stronger color and one less green, and 9 grams of baking powder, which I processed together in a food processor to finely grind the pistachios, and we mixed with a spatula. Finally, I melted 95 grams of white chocolate, added it and incorporated it in the same way with a spatula. We divide the batter into two 18 cm molds. I use these types of rings and bake them at 160 Celsius, no fan, for about 30 minutes or until it passes the toothpick test. We'll prepare the creams, starting with the main cream of the cake, which is the white chocolate ganache. For this, I put in a bowl 533 grams of white chocolate and 266 grams of cream and heated them until the white chocolate melted. Do not overmix, just until all the chocolate has melted. After the chocolate has completely melted, cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate for about 4 to 6 hours until it firms up well. For the second cream, the raspberry insert, I put in a bowl 3 egg yolks, 75 grams of sugar and mix them very well. Then poured 200 grams of hot raspberry puree. I placed the bowl over a double boiler and stirred continuously with a silicone spatula. At the end, after the cream has thickened, I added 60 grams of butter and mixed well until combined. The sponge layers have cooled and I sliced each one in half, so I have 4 layers, 3 plus the one still in the mold. The insert has cooled, the ganache has cooled, and now we're going to start assembling the cake, but we need to do one more thing to the white chocolate ganache. I put in the stand mixer 500 grams of white chocolate ganache and 250 grams of mascarpone, and I mixed them not too much, just to aerate them. First on a slightly lower speed to combine the two, then increasing the speed and whipping them, but this process shouldn't take more than 30 seconds. I transferred the whipped cream into a piping bag, as well as the raspberry insert, and now we'll proceed with filling the cake using about 250 grams of the white chocolate cream and about 100 grams of the raspberry insert per layer. For the white chocolate cream, create an even layer first, then make a border around the edge slightly higher to prevent the insert from leaking outside, because since the insert is softer, when placing the sponge on top, it tends to spill out. After 6-8 hours in the fridge to stabilize the cake and allow the flavors to blend, we're ready to decorate it. For the outer cream, I used the same white chocolate ganache and added 300 grams of ganache and this time 300 grams of mascarpone, so the proportion is different from the cream inside. I mixed again until it was whipped, and this is the cream we will use to decorate the cake. This is how the final cake turned out, and this is a version of the most popular cake from my bakery. For more recipes like this, don't forget to give a like, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram for lots of useful tips.